Hello. Hello. There we go. Okay. I'm having all the technical difficulties. I was just apologizing for my head being giant and in the lower corner of the screen. I'm gonna fix that real quick here. We're having a lot of fun, exciting technical difficulties today. Hello. In the meantime, how are you doing? Wonderful person. Here we go. Okay. Okay. We can breathe. Good. BA says, yay, now I can hear you. Hello, folks. Tiffany is here. Let's party. I love it. Oh, I love it. We're going to have a writing party tonight or a creativity party or, depending where you are emotionally, mentally, maybe a nap party or a hydration party. Um, I have not had enough water to drink today, so I'll hopefully make up for that tonight. But oh my, it is Wednesday. I hope you're all doing well. Let me know in the comments just how have you been creatively lately? I was I was talking with a friend this morning and they asked how my writing was going because they're very nice and polite. And I was like, honestly, this is the first time this has happened in a long time, maybe years. Um I've got some writers I've got some writer's blocks. And I say that with a caveat. I have some writer's block. I know that writer's block is a touchy subject. I know that people argue that it does exist, that it doesn't exist. I will clarify that basically my brain has not wanted to work on or focus my main creative project this week, whether that is due to burnout or fear or something else I haven't identified. Um, it's just been a no-go this week. Yes, BA says, it definitely exists. I appreciate that validation. Hello, JC Henry is here. Hi. Wonderful. Welcome. Welcome to tonight's stream. I'm so glad you're here, each and every one of you. Oh, I had a little technical difficulty getting started, but we're here now. We're going. I have tea and water, and I even have it's herbal tea tonight so that I can go to bed promptly at 9:30 because I am elderly. So, yeah, so it's been for me, it's been a rough week creatively speaking. BA says creatively, that's a negative for me. I really feel that. Tiffany says creatively excited. I got a bunch of new subscribers to my website. Heck yes. And my editor likes the blueprint for my novel. Tiffany, I have loved watching your like just progression through just all of the things that you have been doing and letting us know about during these ride-alongs. I feel like every week you are just pushing yourself and learning and growing and doing cool new stuff, and I love to see it. So, congrats. I love it. JC Henry says, I agree, writer's block. It does exist. I often get writer's procrastination. Yes. And there's yeah. Yeah, BA says I haven't done writing in a couple of months, just reading. Um if I can, I'm not going to get on a soapbox because I don't have, but I will tell you my hot take, and that is whether you are writing or not, whether you are feeling creatively productive or not, you are still creative, you are still a writer. Reading, even if you say I've just been reading for the past few months, that counts. What you're doing is you're building up a creative database in your head. You're building up, I call it a little museum. You're curating the museum in your head. Oh, I just realized my light's not. We're just we're just 0 for 0. Wow, that's bright. Gotta get used to that. So anyway, yeah, you're still a writer. And one thing that is just really, really difficult to get through my very thick skull is that resting is part of writing. And I know that a lot of it, what we count as writing or what we say matters in our writing is our productivity. And I don't know if you've, oh, hey, Sarah's here. Welcome. Hello. Hello, hello. Glad that you're here. Yeah, if you're here, say hi in the chat. I'd love to say hi to you. Um, I had a wonderful talk with my good friend Jared Anderson. Some of you who have like followed me through my podcasting journey may know Jared as the crypto naturalist, which a show that I absolutely love. I've been friends with Jared for a few years. He agreed to do an interview on the Right Now podcast, and that interview came out today. And it was really, there were a lot of mic drop moments. Jared has a lot of things figured out. Well, Jared has had a lot of therapy. Jared has worked on himself a lot. And you can tell he's put his heart and his soul like folded back into himself and been on this like huge creative and healing journey. So if you get a chance, I'm not like trying to shill my show. It's just actually like I went back and I re-listened to it because it was so helpful. But his interview is out today. It's not out on the podcast feed yet. It's currently out on YouTube. Part of my work this evening that I'm going to work along with you guys is I'm going to be putting that episode up on the RSS feed so that you can listen to it. Really excited to share it with you. I'm excited to listen to it again, but the way that he talks about rest and self-care and the way that he talks about how I'm I don't want to screw this up because it was such a moving point. How our creativity isn't just like some little nugget somewhere floating around in our brain. Like we are our creativity. And he talked about when he was not well, um, it affects your creativity. And when we are well, that also affects our creativity. And our creativity is it's not that distant. It's not as distant, maybe, as it feels like sometimes from who we are and what we're going through. And so just so many great points. But yeah, he talked a little bit about one of the things um, that we're talking about now and taking a step away. It can be really hard to take a step away in a world of deadlines, and in a world of audiences. Oh good, yeah, JC Henry, I saw your comment. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, really really good stuff. So yeah, it can be really hard, but I think I've shared this with you before. I wish it wasn't buried. You know what, I'm gonna dig it up. One moment. I've been reading, if any of you have read this, Working Days by John Steinbeck. This is the journal. It's a publication of the journal he kept while he was writing his Pulitzer Prize winning novel. Nobel? Pulitzer. Both? I should know that. Anyway, his wonderful prize winning novel, The Grapes of Wrath. He only journals Monday through Friday, and he does not work on weekends. And look at this. Like, it's okay to rest. I need a John Steinbeck, like, puppet. Maybe. Like, hey guys, time to rest. Me, John Steinbeck, reminding you to take some time off each week to heal. Or not. No, you should. Um, so anyway, before I went off the rails and made John Steinbeck talk to you, it's been hard. I have not written for several days now. Well, I've been writing on other projects, not the main project that I need to be writing. And I've been increasingly frustrated with myself and trying not to be increasingly frustrated with myself. So, being gentle with ourselves, giving ourselves some grace and permission to be, I don't know, to be, I don't want to say imperfect, because constant production is not perfection, right? Um, need to give ourselves permission to like chill. And that goes like triple for me. Yeah. Sarah says it's so true. In my old job, um, yeah, the one I lost about 2 months ago. I've been thinking about you, Sarah, and I hope you're doing okay. Sarah says, I was so unhappy and couldn't draw or anything. Now that I'm unemployed and still do live with the stress of finding a new job, I'm creating stuff every day now. School helps, but yeah. And then Sarah says, constant production becomes reproduction and not new things. That is a really good point. Um, and it's while we'll never run out of creativity. I talk about that a lot with writers. You're not going to use up all your creativity forever. You might create until you're tired and then need a break, but you'll never use up all of your creativity. At the same time, you're not a perpetual motion machine, right? You're not a um self-generating, I don't even know what the right term is, but you don't have an endless supply of energy. You need sleep. Take days off. Your brain needs to like patch itself together after you've been pummeling it for ideas. So, yes. Tiffany says, hard to admit this. I just learned in my adulthood that I struggle with ADHD. And I have guilt because it's so hard to focus and I feel like I don't read enough, but I enjoy writing. Tiffany, I was diagnosed with ADHD in my late 30s, and it's been a time. It's been a journey. Um I have so many I don't talk about this a lot because I feel like a lot of people say like, "Oh, well, everybody has ADHD nowadays," you know. And that's not really true. Like our brains, if you have ADHD, don't produce serotonin and dopamine and all of the things in correct quantities, which is why we are so easily distracted. It's our brains are seeking these chemicals that we need to like live in society, like that we need to accomplish things and get things done. We're lacking some of that chemical motivation. And I just wanted to say, Tiffany, I feel that so much. And the other reason I don't talk about it is because I'm afraid that people will see it as an excuse. And it's like, I think part of me, like, I create because also I have ADHD. It's made me a different type of creator, but it also makes it difficult to create. It makes it difficult to focus and to sit down and stay with a project. Um, Yeah, JC Henry says, I feel like that as well. I have to make time for reading as much as writing. And it's just, making time for all of the things and feeling like you're in some kind of balance, even though we're always in motion. Um, yeah, okay. Oh, there's so many good comments coming in. Sarah says, I'm lucky we have insurances for this. Good. I have 50% of my old income. Good, good, just fine at the moment. I'm glad to hear that. BA says, I'm beginning to think I have ADHD, but have never been checked. Task paralysis hits me hard. Yes. And I mean, it might be worth it to you to get checked, um, or diagnosed or evaluated or analyzed or whatever the right thing to call it is. Not because you can fix it. This was my big frustration with ADHD is like a friend finally convinced me to like go in and be evaluated, and just like immediately the psychiatrist was like, "Oh my gosh, you have ADHD. You have so much ADHD." I'm just not the hyperactive type, like, the stereotypical boys in the classroom who can't sit still and everybody's like, "Oh, they have ADHD." I have an attentive type, which is it presents differently. And that might be the type you have as well, which is why we were not diagnosed in childhood. Um, but yeah, getting diagnosed, Yes, Sarah, that's exactly it. Sarah says getting diagnosed won't help you fix it, but when you know why, yes, it helps you in finding the tools to help. Yes. And that's what I wanted to say. Initially, a friend, like I said, had to talk me into going in, and then I got my hopes up like, oh, okay, so if they diagnose me and they did, then we can like treat it. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. Like, you just know what the issue, like what the root issue is. It's sort of like knowing the root issue of perfectionism is fear. And it's like, oh, okay, now I can start to deal with my perfectionism. And with this, it's like, okay, this is a dopamine deficiency. And, you know, now I can start to, deal with that in different ways. There's different tools and strategies. Some people use medication, some people don't. It's up to you and your doctor what that looks like. But the medication, as I have both experienced and heard from other people, again, the medication doesn't make it go away. The medication just closes some of the browser tabs in your brain, but it doesn't make you necessarily more focused. It helps you to focus your focus on things. Um, but yeah, and this is all. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. Not a psychologist. I am not licensed to give you medical advice, but I can speak from my own experience, and it can be very frustrating. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, again, we have some good comments coming in. Yes. Sarah says the reason why you have a hard time, yes, you have an advanced piece of software running on a regular piece of hardware. ADH people are usually creators, they see things differently. Yeah. Yeah, and Sarah says apparently women also internalize ADHD more. Yes. For girls, it's not encouraged to run around. Yes, yes, and we end up with anxiety and depression and are often misdiagnosed because of that. Yes. It's just there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different factors. No, Sarah says sorry I got diagnosed lately, so I read a lot. I do too, and I've been looking into so much of this. There's actually self. I don't know if you can see it or not. Wait, I think I have to move this. Yeah, this way. Okay, wait. Right there, right above my finger, I have a book by Jessica McCabe called How to ADHD, and it was a really great primer for me in just learning, what's going on in my brain. What are some ways I can, I don't know, I don't like this term, but like hack my brain. What are some ways that I can encourage it uh, gently to work and to create and to be largely less troublesome than it has been. So yeah. Oh yeah. But we are here together. It is 7:30 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone. It is Wednesday, and I've got a podcast episode to release to my RSS feed. And I would love to know if you're here tonight, what are you working on? And I always do like to say also, if you're here tonight and you don't have any creative energy, if the idea of creating feels like painful or like sandpaper against your eyeballs or something like that, you might be burned out, you might be tired. It might be a good time to recharge your well. You can use this time for reading, getting through some of your reading that you've been wanting to do. You can use this time play some video games, to take a nap, whatever it is that you need that would feel right and healthy and good and restorative for your creative well. So, yeah, Sarah says I'm working on assignments, book cover. Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. On Illustrator. Fantastic. So, yeah, let us know in the comments what you're working on. I'll be here working on first my audio stuff, so you may see me put on some headphones, and then I don't know what I'm going to jump into. I have a lot of I'm behind on a lot of things. So, Well, with that being said, the way this works is hello, welcome. I am Sarah Werner. I am a writer and podcast producer living in the Midwestern United States. Um, what else can I tell you? I've been doing these ride alongs for a few years off and on. And if you're new here, the way this works is I'm going to go ahead pretty soon and mute myself so you don't have to listen to me like typing or eating pretzels or anything like that. And what we'll do, oh, hey. Oh, okay. So we've got folks coming in. Fantastic. Puny humans. I don't know why that's hard for me to say. Says hola. Hello, puny humans. Oh, good. Sarah says you could say that listening for your podcast helped me to not get panic attacks for years. I'm very glad about that. Um, JC Henry says I'm working on my space saga again. Good. Tiffany says I'm working on the outline my editor requested. Oh, and I loved your last podcast, Sarah. Thank you, Tiffany. I very selfishly, I enjoyed listening to it too. I don't know what that says, but like the things that Jared says were very deeply insightful, and I felt like a very deep like resonance with what he was saying. BA says as long as you share pretzels, then knock yourself out. Oh, enjoyed the new episode too. Thank you. Thank you for listening. It's out on YouTube right now. It will be out in RSS shortly. Oh my gosh, Puny Humans says, I wrote the first paragraph I've ever written for myself. That's amazing. Congrats. That's beautiful. I love it. Are you going to use your time tonight to write a second paragraph? I would love to know. Thank you for being here. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead again and I'm going to mute myself. Whatever you need this time for, we're here. We're here together. Um as a community. I have tea, I have water. Make sure you have some kind of hydration. You're taking care of yourself. And should we get to it? I'm very excited to jump in. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and minimize the chat here. Oh no, my face is huge again. It does this every time I open Zoom, and I had a family Zoom call tonight. So if you'll give me one moment, I'll make it so that my face isn't huge. Oh, I look like a little kid at like a really tall dining room. There we go. Okay. I'm very tired of it doing this. Lock layer. I doubt that'll stay, but all right. So the chat is gone. I'm going to mute myself. Take a deep breath. I'm going to be right here drinking tea, getting some creative work done. Let us know in the chat how things are going for you, and I'll see you at 8:45 p.m. Central. So we've got a nice long chunk of time together. All right, here we go. Testing. There we go. Hello. Okay. I hope I didn't startle you, scare you, or give you a heart attack, but I would like to summon you gently back. Uh, if you are in a good place writing right now, if you are in flow, if you are asleep, uh, feel free to ignore me, mute me, close out of this entirely, and go on with the magic that you need to go on with. But otherwise, how are people feeling? How was this? I know for me, I always underestimate how long things are going to take. And I don't know if that's an ADHD thing or if that's just a person thing. But so I had a new Right Now episode come out today and I put it on YouTube and I had yet to put it on, like distribute it through RSS so that you could get the audio version through your podcast app. And uh, I was like, oh, that'll take me 15 minutes. And then, I can use the rest of the time to like catch up on, some journaling or, I have some other creative work that I need to do. And no, yeah, posting that episode and like creating the show notes for it and well, I already had the transcripts, but creating the show notes for it, creating the web page for it to live on, um getting it out, writing the metadata, all of that stuff. It took me the full hour and 15 minutes that we were working today. And I finished up about 8:43. So I finished up about 2 minutes before I called us back. And yep. That's I always forget. It's always like, "Oh, I'll just throw that up on the internet." And by throw that up on the internet, I mean, invest an hour and 15 minutes or even more than that. I don't know, however long it was, over an hour in like posting this and I feel like everything is like that. I underestimate everything and then my pile of underestimations like buries me. Oh, yeah, I can knock out, you know, I can do that in 20 minutes. Like, no, Sarah, that's a full day project. No, Sarah, don't do it. So I don't know if you're like that too, if it's just me. Sarah says, I spent the afternoon at the city's book fair. Ooh, then assignments. I just want to sleep now. Um, Big mood. Tiffany says, sleep sounds like a good idea. I agree. I feel like my eyeballs are deep fried, which is a horrifying image that I shouldn't have said. So apologies for that. But oh boy, what a day. What a day. For those of you, for those of us, for those of you who have joined us today, thank you for being here. I hope that you found this to be a cozy and welcoming and inviting space. I hope that you got things done, or if you didn't get things done, because again, production is not the like moral valuation of creativity. It's not how we justify our creative energy or, the projects that we're working on. So I hope you had a good time. I hope you found, I don't know, some fulfillment, some joy, some peace in whatever you ended up doing. Oh, yeah, it looks like a few folks are having trouble with the internet. Yeah, mine dropped once or twice. BA says book fair sounds lovely. It really does. Um, I have a 5-year-old niece who had their Scholastic book fair. I think it was today, and that makes me really happy. Takara, yes, working on Cyrus's second single. I love it. Takara is working on I guess full albums in your fictional record studio. Yes. It's a big book fair. Sarah says there were so many people. It's big as a Comic-Con. That sounds a little more stressful. Maybe I'll stick with going to the library. No, if there's a book fair here, I would totally go because I don't know, I feel like all the introvert energy that you would, like, expend being surrounded by so many people, you would, like, also gain back simultaneously from all of the books everywhere. Um, so I hope you had a good time. I hope you got some cool books. Um, I don't know. Yeah. I hope it was pleasant. I'm trying to think. I wanna say tomorrow. Let me check something. I want to say that tomorrow at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Central? I should know these things. I believe tomorrow afternoon I am doing if you've been joining me for any of our horror story, nope, nope, horror story club episodes. There we go. My friend Asa and I get together and we talk about a horror story. This week we're looking at one of my favorites of all time. It is a classic by Charlotte Perkins Gilman called The Yellow Wallpaper, and it is awesome. And so we're doing Story Club a little differently tomorrow if you want to join us. Again, I think we're starting at 2 p.m. Central. I should really check on that. Um, but yeah, I'm going to be reading the whole story out loud. So if you want me to just like read to you, we're going to be doing that tomorrow. That'll be on my Twitch. So those of you who are familiar here with my Twitch will just be right here. Um, and it will be on Ace's YouTube, I believe. So like everything I do, it is completely free, so you are very, very invited. Um, oh my gosh, Sarah says I couldn't afford the books I wanted. They were like $75 each. Oh my. BA says I have a few that I want that I cannot afford. Oh, good. Sarah says I bought short story magazines instead. That's great. You're supporting like short story writers, local publications, small publications. That's really nice. I like that. I like that you did that. I hope they're good stories. And I don't know, do you write short stories and do you submit them to literary mags? Very curious. Okay. I am also very sleepy and I'm going to say, oh, Sarah says the joys of a French market. Everything is expensive. Oh no. Oh, I bet. Oh, but oh, you bought them because it's friend stories. I love that. Shoot, I usually have I love to like I don't know, it makes me feel so special when I buy a book by like somebody I know. I'm like so I have an arc of Jared's I was talking about the episode that I released today, an interview with Jared K. Anderson. I have an arc, so an advanced reader copy of his book, but it's digital. It's an ebook, so I can't like hold it up and get real excited about it, but it's so cool. I have a shelf actually. This shelf that you can't really see because it's shrouded in shadow. That's my shelf of books that are written by people I know, which it's my favorite shelf. So that makes me very happy. Oh, BA says, I want a copy of Rage from Richard Bachman, but Stephen King took it out of print years ago. Oh, interesting. I wonder if you could find that in a used bookstore or if like it's such a rare find that like if you tried to find it, it would be super expensive. But interesting. Yeah. Oh no, Sarah says I used to write short stories. Submissions were not taken, not deemed good enough. That's normal. Oh, yeah, that's normal. I read an article on LitHub, which is, a news source for writers that I enjoy, about how you should shoot for 100 rejections a year. Um, so I think that, you know, everybody gets rejected the first X number of times they submit short stories. I've submitted a short story, it got rejected. I feel like that's probably very normal, but I don't know, I mean, if it's something you're interested in, I would advise you to keep going, keep at it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Rage by Richard Bachman. BA says online, I can't find it for less than $250. Over $100 for King's Bachman books. Oh, Sarah says 100. That's not even imaginable here. We have like 2 magazines of short stories. I wonder if you could submit to like American journals. I don't even know. Oh, good. Okay. Let's see. JC Henry says this went faster than expected. Amen. Yes. JC Henry says good night, everyone. And Tiffany says sleepy time for me. Thanks for another great session, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Alyssa says good night, everyone. Thanks for the time. I will continue tonight. Beautiful. Yeah, if you still have energy, I encourage you to keep going. I'll send you good vibes are coming your way, good creative vibes. For my part, I am going to go fall down and sleep. But as always, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. This community is so warm and lovely because of you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, especially. I'm really, really grateful. So, um, oh, so I got pulled. Oh, geez. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Culture. Interesting, interesting. Well, if you ever do find a copy, let us know. In the meantime, there is no shortage of stories and books to read. Yes, Forbidden Fruit, says BA. Yes, I want it just because, mostly because I can't have it. All right, friends. I'm gonna go pass out. Well, go to sleep. I'm fine. Like health wise, I'm doing great. I'm not gonna like pass out. I'm gonna go fall asleep and um yeah, take good care of yourselves. I hope you're hydrating. Um and I will see you again. We do these every Wednesday, so you're always welcome to come back if you want. We'd love to have you. But yeah, I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.